Sarah Sackman, parliamentary candidate for Finchley and Golders Green. Conference. Let me tell you about a library near Finchley, the area where I grew up. A library which inspired me to stand in next year's election. For the past 80 years, Barnet Library has served the community, introducing generations of children to literature, providing a public space where people could go without opening their wallets. A place which, like our NHS, is open to all and free at the point of use. But 2 years ago, Barnet's Tory council decided to shut it. The books came off the shelves and the site was marketed for redevelopment. Many people read about the decision in our local paper and turned the page. But a handful of people didn't turn the page. They formed a community group. People donated books. They manned the counters. They ran the library and they even improved it. And they didn't do it because it belonged to them as individuals. They did it because it belonged to them as a community. The Tory council didn't accept this. Instead, they took legal action. I was proud to represent the group as their barrister in court, and I was even prouder at the outcome. Today, the library is once again open to everyone. The story of our campaign showed what a group of motivated people, from Occupy activists to rabbis, single mothers to retired accountants, could achieve working together. And it inspired me to stand as our candidate in Finchley and Golders Green. It's going to be a tough seat to win, but we will do it. Our campaign showed that politics, at its best, is about empowering people to take control of their community, not at the expense of the state, but in support of it. We're doing our bit across the constituency, in parent-led campaigns to reverse Tory cuts to services for severely disabled children, in the fight to secure fair pay for care workers, and in grassroots protests against plans to remove housing rights from victims of domestic violence. We're succeeding, but all the time we're having to fight against the will of our government. A government that believes we live our lives as individuals, separate and apart. Imagine what we could achieve if we had a government that believed our lives are not just led privately. A government that believed in strong communities, that those communities are built around public spaces and public services. Shared spaces such as libraries, youth clubs and parks, hospitals, schools and Sure Start centres, institutions cherished because they're public. In an increasingly privatised world, these are places where people, rich and poor, young and old, can be together as equals. In Finchley, in Thatcher's old stomping ground, people were once told there is no such thing as society. Conference, as we look ahead to next May, her next generation of constituents are hungry for change, hungry for power, and determined to prove her wrong. Thank you.
I'm just going to take 3 more, if you can indicate.